Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an international mining investor, you already know the Holy Grail, finding an emerging market with massive geological upside and a stable pro-business environment. Well, today we're diving straight into an executive briefing on how Egypt is engineering exactly that kind of lucrative transformation.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the baseline geological opportunity, move right into the new data pipeline, cover the pro-investor reforms, break down the totally revamped open block system, and then wrap up with the macroeconomic impact. All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, Untapping the Arabian-Nubian Shield.
So Egypt sits squarely on the Arabian-Nubian Shield. Geologically speaking, this gives the country absolutely immense baseline potential for massive targets. We're talking gold, copper, rare earth elements. But you know as well as I do, having minerals in the ground is only half the battle, right? Historically, the issue hasn't been a lack of resources. It's been a total lack of modern discovery tech and data to actually pinpoint them efficiently. We've always known the wealth is down there, we just haven't had the right lens to focus on it.
Which brings us to our second point, and honestly the main catalyst for today's briefing. The new data pipeline, moving from aerial to geochemical.
Now take a look at this number, 1984. That's the era of floppy disks and cassette tapes. And wildly enough, it's also the last time an aerial mineral survey was conducted in Egypt. Think about how much exploration tech has advanced since the mid-80s. Those old surveys, they had massive spacing gaps, used completely outdated tech, and honestly, they were mostly tailored for oil and gas, not minerals. This massive 40-year blind spot left incredible economic value locked in the ground. It really goes to show just how incredibly overdue this new data overhaul actually is.
So, Egypt is finally flipping the script. They've officially signed off on a massive project to modernize this survey. This isn't just a minor update. It's the first new aerial mineral survey since 1984. They're comprehensively covering 6 national sectors, basically the entire map of Egypt. And crucially, they're moving definitively beyond that old oil and gas focus. They're bringing in modern technologies, high-res equipment, and specialized expertise to completely tighten those data gaps. It's literally a total remaking of their geological baseline.
And this perfectly illustrates their new data pipeline. Step 1 is the aerial survey, which kicks off in the southeastern desert. Step 2, that aerial baseline acts like a giant treasure map, allowing the mining authority to go in and conduct hyper-precise geochemical mapping to nail down the exact anomalies. And finally, Step 3, they hand this high-quality layered data straight to you, the investor. It absolutely slashes your exploration risk and paves the way for truly targeted, data-driven drilling. And the timeline here is super aggressive. After the State Council did their contract review, operations officially launched back in June 2024. But here's the date you really need to circle on your calendar. September 2024. That's when the very first wave of highly actionable data from the southeastern desert is expected to drop at the mining conference. They aren't hoarding this data, guys. They're pushing it straight to the market.
Okay, moving right along to Section 3. Let's look at the pro-investor reforms.
The legal ecosystem has been completely restructured to back up all this new data. First off, the mining authority isn't just a service entity anymore. It's been transformed into an independent economic body. And even better, they've completely ditched those outdated profit-sharing agreements. You know, the ones that notoriously cap your upside. Now they've shifted to a highly favorable, much more streamlined production and tax agreement model.
But what about the junior miners? Well, Egyptian officials literally flew down to Australia to sit face-to-face with junior mining investors and ask them point-blank, what's keeping you out of Egypt? They actually listened to the feedback and rolled out these exact perks. We're talking reduced rental values, a totally frictionless single-window system for permits, and get this, they now allow multi-mineral searches in a single location. Plus, they're offering much larger exploration areas just to incentivize companies to get in there and generate even more data. It's a real game changer.
Which leads us straight into Section 4, the open block system.
So how do you actually get your hands on these newly de-risked areas? Well, say goodbye to those old, heavily bureaucratic, stop-and-go bidding rounds that just tie up your capital. Egypt is officially transitioning entirely over to the agile, continuous, open block system.
Just look at how streamlined this process is now. Step 1, blocks are continuously available right on the authority's platform. No waiting around for the next auction. Step 2, you grab the newly released data, run your studies, and submit your technical and financial offers whenever you're ready. Step 3, they fast-track the evaluation. We're talking a 30 to 60-day turnaround. And Step 4, the area is formally awarded to you. It's fast, it's continuous, and it's completely responsive to your timelines.
Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Macroeconomic Value.
I want you to really think about this quote from the source material for a second. A minister from another country said they have $3 trillion in mineral wealth initially. As a result of what? The data they have. We are aiming for that same level. I mean, wow. That perfectly sums up the whole philosophy driving these reforms. The government totally gets that high-quality data is the literal key to unlocking multi-trillion-dollar national valuations.
Because look, the state is playing the long game here. The real investment magnet for Egypt isn't just getting a firm to drop 65 or 100 million bucks on initial exploration. No, the real economic win for them is building an ecosystem where you, the investor, find something that rivals or even beats the scale of the legendary Sukari gold mine. They absolutely want you to strike it big, because your success is ultimately their success.
And this breaks down exactly why. When you successfully transition from exploration to full-blown production, it kickstarts this incredible cycle of value addition for the whole country. It creates thousands of jobs, it drives massive infrastructure development, it literally births entirely new urban communities around the mine sites, and it significantly shrinks the national import gap. It is the ultimate win-win ecosystem that this new legislation was built to promote.
So, we've seen the massive, untapped potential of the Arabian-Nubian Shield, the incredible new aerial and geochemical data pipeline, the aggressive pro-investor legislative reforms, and the sheer speed of the new open block system. The opportunity is obvious and the data is coming fast. So, the only question you really have to ask yourself is this. With that groundbreaking southeastern data dropping this September, is your portfolio actually ready to capitalize on Egypt's new open block era? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I highly encourage you to look much closer at that September conference.